The Harvest Show, where faith makes a world of difference.
And how you doing, everybody? On a Friday edition of Harvest, Chuck Kirby alongside Valerie Lowe and Stefan Radulich. Glad you could join us as we embark on Christian television's fastest growing talk sensation. We waste little time around here anymore getting into something we like to call, and so we do, Choose Your News. There's the music. We still have to taste the graphics, apparently. Oh, there it is.
There's the bobblehead.
Looky. Okay, lady and gent, we have stories in the international edition today.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
Jerusalem, Dublin, Berlin.
Jerusalem.
I knew you were going to go there. A team of experts began a historic renovation Monday at the spot where Christians believe Jesus was buried, overcoming long-standing religious rivalries to carry out the first repairs at the site in more than 200 years. The project is focused on reinforcing and preserving the edicule, the ancient chamber housing Jesus' tomb in Jerusalem's Church of the Holy Sepulchre. It is the first such work on the tomb since 1810, when the shrine was restored and given its current shape following a fire. It has been engaged in turf rivalries over the years, but this time the clergymen put aside their differences, a reflection of the dire need for repairs. Last year, Israeli police briefly shut down the building after the Antiquities Authority deemed it unsafe, prompting the Christian denominations to join forces.
Well, I'm so glad this renovation is taking place. I'm just so glad I got a chance to go to the Holy Sepulchre when I was there in Israel. It's an amazing place, and I can imagine that once the renovations are completed, it'll be even more amazing, so that people around the world can actually get a chance to see it.
Yeah, yeah.
You've been there as well, haven't you?
Yes, I have. And sometimes there's denominations fighting
Yes.
in fisticuffs there, certain times of the year. So it's good to see them working together for the common good.
Yeah, 2008, the Greeks and the Armenians went at it, and they should have sold tickets. Nevertheless, I'll give you a choice of Dublin or Berlin.
Well, let's go Dublin down and head over to Berlin.
Oh, okay, I see what you did there. More and more Muslim refugees have been converting to Christianity in Europe, according to reports from churches. In Austria, there have been at least 300 applications for adult christenings in the first 3 months of this year alone. That's up 70%. At Berlin's Trinity Church, the congregation has recently grown from 150 to almost 700. In Hamburg, more than 80 Muslim refugees from Iran and Afghanistan converted to Christianity and were baptized last week.
Wow.
Among the most popular reasons behind the conversion is faith in a new religion triggered by the lack of freedom in Islam and gratitude to Christians who have offered help to refugees fleeing war-torn countries.
We've seen this for the last maybe 6-7 months. We've got an office, Feed the Hungry office there in actually south of Hamburg area there by Frankfurt. But that report has been coming in, and it's not being covered. It's a powerful story. Some people question, well, are the refugees doing this so they've got a better footing to become, accepted in their new home of Germany? Is it so they've got less risk of being deported if they convert? But the reports we're getting is there's just an honest move of God going on there, where churches that were, like you said, 100 people, 60 people, 70 people, are now running in the hundreds, 500, 600, 700. And you think about Germany, it was always kind of a very quiet, sedated.
Yeah.
The question is, post-Christian nation? Well, there seems to be a breath of fresh air through this oddest of reasons, this migrant crisis.
Perhaps this is the new great revival going on in Europe. We'll have to wait and see. Hey, we've got so much more to come on this edition of Harvest. They represent two powerhouse Christian bands, the singer and songwriters John Schlitt and Billy Smiley. We'll share the backstory on their much-anticipated release of the Union of Sinners and Saints. What is Ramadan best known for? Brian Bush joins us with the backstory on that, and Drew will stop in with an update on the 30th anniversary of World Pulse Festival. Plus, we want to know your thoughts, so join the conversation. You know how to do it. You get on your little Facebook machine, maybe you go tweet at us, you send us an email directly to the set of Harvest at live@lesea.com. 100 ways of doing it. You can do them all when we come back.
Dr. Lester Sumrall was given a global vision to reach 1 million souls every day for Jesus Christ. To fulfill his God-given assignment, he established LeSEA Broadcasting. The ministry today reaches millions of people in more than 190 nations through the power of television, radio, shortwave satellites, free Bibles, and prayer lines. But we need your help. Will you join Partners in Faith by giving a monthly gift of $25, $50, $100 or more? Give today by calling 1-800-365-3732 or visit LeSEA.com.
The Union of Sinners and Saints is a new smash-up venture from two of the best-selling Christian rock bands of all time, selling more than 12 million records between them, with more than 25 #1 songs and with more than 15 Grammy and 40 Dove nominations. Awards. Petra and Whiteheart defined Christian rock. John Schlitt and Billy Smiley now join me with the backstory. That was a mouthful, guys.
It was. Yeah, in fact, will you do that again? I want to memorize that. I want everybody to say that. That's pretty cool.
But it's all true. I mean, I have a friend who is named after Petra. Her name is Petra.
Oh, isn't that a beautiful name? That's a very beautiful name.
It is a beautiful name. Her mom named her Petra. You guys have history together. Kind of give me the backstory on the new project, the Union of Sinners and Saints. First of all, love the title. Where'd that come from?
It come from a lot of conversation. We were searching for a name. We had 2 or 3 different names.
Yeah, all bands search for names.
Yeah.
So it was our journey of going through some names, and we had heard thought of the Union, and then there was other blessed union of other different names with Union in it. So we really wanted something to fit where we were in life, and that would kind of say. You kind of explain it better. Why don't you do the...
You're doing pretty good, Billy, but that's okay. You guys can go.
We're a tag team type of thing, yeah. Well, actually, you know, what's funny is there was a band called The Union, and there was a band called The Sinners and Saints, and we liked both of them. And we thought about, well, we're going to do Union, SSF, or whatever, you know. And we finally said, no, get the whole thing out there, because really, we're all sinners. We all are sinners, because everybody will go, well, who's a sinner, who's a saint? We're all the same. We're sinners, but through the blood of Jesus Christ, we are saints. And so that's actually a very good conversation piece. And the fact that Billy and I, joined together with this new idea, following our old careers, using that a little bit, but trying to be Union into something different, and so it seemed like the perfect name.
And it's a smash up. It's having fun, smashing up the influences, which is again the Union. And even as we wrote a lot of the songs, it's kind of bringing together, because it doesn't happen. We would be at a festival and we'd wave at each other, because Petra would be on Saturday night and we'd be on Friday. We'd just be pulling in and they would be leaving. And John and I went to church together in Franklin, but
they were big churches, so you don't really get a chance.
You don't really get to know each other.
So we got to know each other this last year.
So I love the diversity in the different types of music and bringing it together. So what was fun about this project? I know it's work.
Well,
it's labor intensive.
I was a big Whiteheart fan. I loved their vocals. I loved the moodiness of the songs, and so it was a new adventure for me. Petra, we're in there. We're in there stomping, and loved every minute of that. But now we're sort of bringing the stomp with a little bit of the more moodiness every once in a while. And as you listen to the album, it's a taste of everything. And then it's a taste absolutely of originality that came through a lot of friends that co-wrote with us, which was actually an adventure in itself.
Yeah.
That was cool. Start naming some of the names. It's like
Michael
trouble. W., Bob Hartman, John Lowry, Phil Kagi. Oh my gosh, keep going.
Did you say Michael W.?
Yeah, I did.
Peter Furler.
Peter Furler, yeah.
He actually came and wrote on a couple. So
John from South Africa?
Oh, yeah. John Ellis from Tree 63. We were hoping, we wrote a song, and it's our fun jam.
Which one?
It's called The Things We Do.
Okay, I see it.
And so that's fun, because if we do certain shows, we'll bring out a person, because it's a jam song. So if a Kagi's around, because he'll always hop up on stage if he's at a festival at the same ones we're at. So it lends itself to being able to bring in different people and jam with us and have fun.
Well, we're going to get a chance to jam with you guys. You guys are joining us for World Pulse Festival 2016.
Yes.
That's July 15th and 16th. By the way, if you haven't gotten your tickets, you need to go online to worldpulsefestival.com to get those tickets. So what can we expect when you guys show up? A lot of the music from this one?
Yes, actually, we cover it pretty well. I think about half the songs will be from this, and then there's a good covering of Whiteheart and a good covering of Petra, which we go on and say, listen, we're not Whiteheart, we're not Petra, we're the Union of Sinners and Saints, but we do understand that you expect to hear some of it from our band, so we're doing that. But we're really featuring that album because we're very proud of it, and it's a new adventure for us. It's sort of a new direction. When you meld them together, it actually does create a new direction. And I mean, we want to bring back the 70s, 80s, but we also want to be current and function within the 21st century. So it's going to. Oh, you wanted to know what it's going to be like? As a singer, I can tell you, it's going to be stomp.
Okay.
Well, he stomps. I mean, the reason why he said he loved Whiteheart, I love Petra, was because big ideas, lyrically, and a big voice. It's one of the best singers of all time, and when he sings, you know who it is, which is a wonderful thing.
You want the money later?
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Tell me, what's it like when you hear people in the audience singing back to you the music?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's not an ego boost. It's what it is. It's just fun to watch them have fun. Because when the crowd's singing your songs, it means they're totally into it, and we're having fun together. See, when we walk on stage, I don't want. We do an intro to walk on. I'd prefer not to. I'd just like to walk on and say, "Hello, family. What's happening? Are you ready to have a great time?" But you've got to do that because a lot of times people expect that. But really, when I walk on stage with these guys, because they're an amazing band, it gives me the freedom to say, you're going to have fun, we're going to have fun, are we ready? And so when they're singing the songs, it means in the past they have learned them and they appreciate it, but it also means for that moment we're going to have fun together.
Oh, wow. You guys, I know I'm looking forward to it, and I'm going to have a great time, and I want you to autograph these CDs for me, okay?
Oh, it would be a
so people... For the first person writing in, go to live@lesea.com. We need your name and your mailing address. First two people, you get a copy of the Union of Sinners and Saints. To connect with John and Billy to find out more about the project, go to the unionofsinnersandsaints.com or go to harvest-tv.com. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
Journey on to walk the walk and see it done, and it's up to us to bring it on. Gone are the days we sit around. The time is now. From a man who has lived through many years to the one who will face uncertain fears, we stand brother to brother, arm in arm. We raise a flag across the land.
You know, it only takes $6 to feed one of these children for a whole month. That's why we're asking you to become part of Every Child, Every Day. These children have fled the horrors of war from South Sudan, but they're receiving a daily meal, and they're receiving not just food, but the hope of a brighter future. Whatever it is that you can do, we need your help today, because the children keep coming out of South Sudan, and we need to feed them. We can't say to one, you can have lunch today, but sorry, no lunch for you.
Fridays here on The Harvest Show give us a chance to interact with our LeSEA correspondent, Brian Bush, who joins us from Jerusalem. And Brian, as it is the first Friday of Ramadan, let's talk about that Islamic holy month a little, educate ourselves a little bit. What's it best known for?
Well, Chuck, in the West, Ramadan is commonly known for its sun-up to sundown fast. For most Muslims, this is an act of faith, obedience, worship towards Allah. In so doing, Muslims seek to suppress their desires and increase their spiritual piety. And many draw power from knowing that the world's 1 billion Muslims are doing the very same thing as they fast together in a worldwide community. So in a Muslim's view, this is affirming their brotherhood and equality before Allah. Chuck?
But the month isn't just about the fast, is it, Brian?
No, not at all. Prayers are a highly significant, important aspect of Ramadan. Having family and communal meals together, particularly when one breaks the fast at the end of the day, that is significant. And then, after dinner, going together collectively to the mosque, again, sense of community, to offer more prayers, more steps towards piety. That is important, along with the traditional readings, of course, that accompany this holy month of Ramadan, which all come from the Quran itself. Chuck?
It almost seems, Brian, that the whole day is somewhat turned upside down with the night.
True, and that's part of Ramadan, really. One, changing their whole physical and emotional selves during the 30-day period. There is a lot of time and emotional investment, shall we say, in reading the Quran at one's own time when they're able. And fasting, typically spent, is really defining that you're not going to take in food, you're not going to smoke, you're not going to have relations with your spouse during the day. You're choosing not to do so. And the idea here is that they're refraining from it during this 30-day period so that they can fight off evil and the wrong decisions, vice, if you will, during the other 11 months of the year. And of course, let's not forget, it's not just about fasting and abstinence. There's also the fact that Muslims, this is a period of great benevolence, where they give alms, where they help people and make sure that they take time to help the needy and those who are without family, that those people are looked after as well. Chuck?
In some ways, very similar to those 40 days of Lent that Christians experience. All right, thank you very much, Brian. A reminder, Brian gives us exclusive content from Israel. Apparently, he's on his way to do that now. It's only available on the Harvest Show Facebook page, so make sure you like us on Facebook. We're right back with a World Pulse Festival update from Drew Summerall next here on Harvest.
What if I told you that there's a place full of loved ones' photos that gets prayed for regularly? Prayer offers a direct line to God, so who couldn't use a little more of it? Getting yourself or your loved ones on this wall is as easy as click and send. The chapel at LeSEA Prayer Line has a wall of love that's waiting to be filled up. Just email your pictures to prayer@lesea.com. That's it. Our chapel has been a focal point for prayer for the last 18 years. Let our prayer team pray for you.
Friends like you have helped send over 700,000 Bibles around the world through our Spread the Word ministry. We're so thankful for your support to help us take the best news of all time to more of those hungry to hear it. Through your generosity, many thousands have already read about the saving grace of Jesus Christ. And with your support, we look forward to helping fulfill Dr. Lester Sumrall's vision of reaching the untold billions yet untold with the gospel.
Hard to believe it, but World Pulse Festival will be upon us before we know it. Friday, July 15th, Saturday, July 16th. You can see there all of the great folks that are coming. 30th anniversary of World Pulse Festival. For more information, go to worldpulsefestival.com. Drew Sumrall with us right now. And 30 years. Do you remember your first World Pulse Festival?
I don't recall my first. There was a lot of years that I don't know if you were even here yet. Valerie definitely wasn't here when we had it in the front.
Yeah, yes, I remember. First year was
the
1995, and
Yeah.
Petra was out there with Rich Mullins, I think, and some others. I remember that right in the front of the property, right by the road.
Front. Oh yeah, by the road.
Little flatbed
And
truck.
I do have a lot of memories of those festivals, but that was before it was World Pulse Festival. We just called it the birthday party for 103.1 FM, and I remember we would all, take our friends over because we lived right next door, right across the field here.
Now this is in the backyard.
This is now, and almost immediately when we moved it to the backyard, the event became almost enormous overnight, so to speak. And some people, you'll remember this, Stefan. I treated the World Pulse Fest people maybe 5 or 6 years to my quote-unquote performance. I used to.
Andy.
Yeah. So the folks in South Bend had to suffer through some.
Was it 5 or 6 years?
Some of my singing.
Was it? Did you do it for 5 years?
5 or 6 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember that long.
Quite a few years.
But look at this. I mean, huge. Of course, I joined the team maybe 5 years ago, so I did get a chance to see it in the quote backyard, and we've had as many as 50,000 people show up for World Pulse Festival. Drew, it's a free event. I mean, why?
Always been free.
Always been free. Why do we do it?
Well, at first it was just a small thing, but as it got bigger and bigger, we wanted to, still keep it free because we thought that it was a great outreach to the community, which it is.
Right.
And obviously, as it's grown, as times have progressed, it's a little. We have to pay artists a lot of money to come, but we want to make sure that it still is a great, safe place for families to come during the summer. Concerts like these, festivals, it can cost $50, $100, $150 a ticket. So we believe very much that it is a great outreach and continue to do it.
So this
30 years. And my dad absolutely loved World Pulse Festival. It was one of his favorite things. He liked to get up there
on the roof.
He was always up there on the roof. He was filming the people as they first opened the gates and would run in. Yeah.
So this year, the 30th year, and it is, I believe, the third year in the Compton Ice Arena up in Notre Dame.
Yes, that's
so
right.
It's a 2-night event now, and kind of looking back at some of the golden oldies, and
that's what we're doing here this year. We decided since it's 30 year, we want to kind of do some throwback groups. So that's why we have the Petras and the Phillips, Craig and Deans.
Yeah.
I remember one year, I really wanted to get the autograph of First Call. You guys remember First Call?
No.
Dean remembers. And I remember my dad brought me into the big studio to get their autographs, and it had been so sunny. I was probably 8 years old or something. That I just remember I couldn't make them out because it was so dark in the studio. Yeah. I was so excited, but yeah.
Imperials, King and Country. So a little bit of the old and a little bit of the new.
The best of the old and the new this time, absolutely.
And it's still 2 nights, over 2 nights. So Friday night, that will be the vintage throwback.
Well, we have a little bit of both
on
each night. Yeah, I believe the headliner on the first night is Switchfoot. And For King and Country is the headliner for our second night. So
Saturday
a little bit for everybody on both nights.
Wonderful, wonderful. And tickets are still free. You can go to worldpulsefestival.com, I believe, to get
them. That's
right.
If you're in the South Bend, Michiana area, you need to tune into Pulse FM, find out where remotes are, etc. If you're outside that area, definitely go to worldpulsefestival.com. You can find out information on
One
tickets.
of the things I like about World Pulse Festival is that it's family-oriented, family-friendly. When I drive up to walk through that front door, the line is just wrapped around the building, but we see kids, we see grown-ups, we see grandparents, because you're right, there's something there for everyone. And since it's free, and free is always the best price, I mean, we have tons of people who show up and just really have a great time.
And, you know, that was always so important to my dad, that it was family friendly. You know, there's not going to be any smoking or alcohol, et cetera.
Yep.
And that was always so important to him.
Yeah. Well, listen, I know that Pulse FM is announcing this morning some special guests, surprise guests are going to be there. We're
going to save that for ourselves, then, folks, and we'll fill everyone else in on Monday.
Next week. And listen, WorldPulseFestival.com. Go check it out. If you're anywhere in the Midwest, you want to be here in South Bend for the 30th anniversary of WPF. You will not regret it. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next week.
Today is your day. This is your moment. Life is calling. It's time to get back that extra spark that you've been missing, and it's simple with Mineral Concentrate, an all-natural trace mineral product designed to promote energy and focus without sugar nor caffeine. Call 1-800-965-2345 or log on to mhclife.com. Today is your day. It's time for life.
The Harvest Show is produced by LeSEA Broadcasting and is viewer supported by people just like you. Thank you for inviting us into your home today.